Okay, class, today we are going to be expanding on our factoring expressions and factoring them as well. Or I'm sorry, factoring and expanding expressions. Here is your assignment. Go ahead and put your name at the top, please. I'll give you an example of how I want it to look like right here on my document camera. So you're going to write your name here. Mine says Mr. Hensley. Our date, 10/13, and we're in third period. Please put all of that in the correct blanks. Okay. Number 1 says we're going to simplify the following expressions following the order of operations. Does anybody remember what acronym we use for our order of operations? Yes, Samantha.
PEMDAS.
Okay. Do you remember the phrase that stands for?
Parentheses.
Yes.
Exponents.
Yes.
Multiplication.
Yes.
Division.
Yes.
Addition. Subtraction.
Correct. Good job. And we also use a phrase for that, for those of us who can't remember what PEMDAS is. It is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, in that order, and we go from left to right. So on the first one here, does anybody see a parentheses in this problem? 6 times the quantity, 3 plus 9, close quantity. Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
3 plus 9.
Okay. Now, under normal circumstances, we would go ahead and do the 3 plus 9, but what we're actually going to do first is we're discussing a new topic called the distributive property. The distributive property says if you have a number next to a quantity or parentheses, you can take that number and you can multiply it by each number on the inside of the parentheses. So everybody go ahead and take your number 6 here. I want you to draw a line extending from the number 6 to the number 3 and draw a line extending the number 6 to the positive 9, please. Okay, now that you've done that, what this means is we can take 6 times 3 and factor this out and expand this expression. So 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times positive 9 is 54. This leaves us with 18 plus 54. Does anybody know what the sum of 18 and 54 is? If you do not know, you can use your calculators. Calculator's right there. Yes, Samantha.
72.
Correct. So our answer here would be 72. All right. Moving on to number 2, we have 5 times the quantity, 9 plus 2, close quantity. Anybody have a guess which part we're going to do first? Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
I'm going to draw our lines.
Yep. From where? Where are we going to start?
5 to 9.
Okay.
Then 5 to 2.
Correct. Now, is there a positive or a negative sign there between the 9 and the 2?
Positive.
This means when we times that 5 and 2, you can just stick with a positive. Now, if there was a minus sign there, we actually have to do negative. So keep that in mind. Always pay attention to your signs. So we're going to do 5 times 9, which is 45, plus 5 times 2, which is 10. What is the sum of 45 and 10?
55.
Correct. Good job. All right. Moving on. Last one. We have 2 times quantity, 8 minus 4, close quantity. Where are we going to start?
Draw a line from 2 to 8.
Yep.
And 2 to 4.
Okay. Now, is that a 4 or is that a negative 4?
Negative 4.
All right. That's key. If you do 2 times 4, you will get this question wrong. You have to do 2 times negative 4. So we will do 2 times 8, which is 16. 2 times negative 4, which is -8. If you do +8 there, you will get this wrong. What is 16 minus 8? What's the difference between those?
8.
Correct. Good job. Seems like you're getting the hang of this.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on, we got some guided notes here. Says the distributive property allows the blank outside of the parentheses to be blank to the terms inside the parentheses. I want everybody to write this down letter for letter, word for word with me. The distributive property allows the number, goes in the first blank there, allows the number outside of the parentheses to be distributed. distributed. Distributed to the terms inside the parentheses. Please pay attention to this. This will be on our vocabulary quiz for properties. Okay, last section. It says each of the 4 members of the Robinson family order a drink, letter D, 2 slices of pizza, letter P, and an ice cream cone, letter C. And then we have a visual representation here. We've got the number 4, quantity. We have a drink plus 2 pizzas plus 1 ice cream cone, close quantity. So our objective here is to distribute and write an expression to represent their order. I want everybody to follow along with me. Above the soda, I want you to write the letter D. Above the pizzas, I want you to write 2. The number 2, the letter P. That stands for 2 of those slices of pizzas. Above the ice cream cone, I want everybody to write the letter C. This means we can then go back to our previous practice of taking the line and drawing it to each number, or in this case variable, on the inside of the parentheses. So where are we going to start here?
Draw a line from 4 to D.
4 to D, yep.
And then from 4 to 2P.
Correct.
And then from 4 to C.
Good job. Now, what if instead of 1 soda here I had 2? What would be above that soda?
2D.
Okay, and what if instead of the ice cream cone I had 3 ice cream cones here? What would be above the ice cream cone picture?
3C.
Okay, good job. You're following along, you're catching on quickly. So we're going to now distribute this number 4 to each number and or variable inside the parentheses. We have 4 times D, that is 4D. We've got a plus sign here, we're going to add that. 4 times 2P, 8P, 4 times C, 4C. Now, reviewing from our previous lesson, we cannot combine like terms, or we cannot combine terms that are not like. So if they are different letters in these variables, that's as far as we can reduce this expression. You cannot combine a D and a P with a C, or vice versa. All right, anybody have any questions?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
When did they change the name parenthesis to quantity?
So quantity just means when you can't, if you're not looking at the question and somebody reads quantity, that in your mind, you should just go ahead and start using either parentheses or bracket. If you have multiple parentheses, you would want these brackets instead of, just one set of parentheses. So quantity just covers all of it. If you hear the word quantity, that means you're going to start either parentheses or bracket. And that's been going on for a while now. Not exactly sure when it started. Any other questions?
Nope.
All right, good job today, class. Go ahead and finish up your assignment. I'll be grading these tonight. When you're finished, put them in your folder. Bring them up to me. We'll get started on our next lesson shortly.